Gentlemen, welcome back to Becoming a Better Man. I'm Eli, and today I'm going to be sharing a story regarding a woman that made a Reddit posting and asked, should you date someone that is not physically appealing to you? Why in the world would you go into a forum and post that question? If you post that question, obviously the simple answer is you're not attracted to this guy, so why are you even, considering it, right? Why would you even have to post it, right? And basically, this woman was stating, I'll get to the posting here in a second, that this gentleman has lost 65 pounds. I guess apparently he was very overweight, but he's a really good guy, decent guy, has his stuff together, right? And then she even mentioned she herself lost 100 pounds right before COVID started, right? So she must have been very heavy set herself, just like this guy was initially, right? And he's in progress of losing the weight. But then she said, since that time, she's gained 35 pounds back. So this woman has struggled with her weight. She knows what it feels like to be overweight and how people perceive people that are overweight in the dating world. Yet she's questioning if, if people would date someone that's physically unappealing, right? So in essence, she's not attracted to this guy, but she's in a similar boat, right? So this is a classic story of where you beta male guys out there, you thirsty beta male guys, continue to validate and overly inflate the value of every single woman out there, whether she's attractive or not. So you have these women, with no disrespect, okay? You have these women that are overweight that you guys, you guys validate them with so much attention that you lead them to believe like they're a 9 or a 10, right? So then they come out on Reddit and make a posting like this. Let's just get right to it, and I'll show you what I mean. Let's switch on over to the browser source. Come on. There we go. Keeps on showing my colorful wooden wall until I tap on the browser. All right, let's get right to it here. This is from the subreddit Dating Over 30, and the original poster posts, would you date someone physically unappealing to you? I met a man, and as a person, he's great, attentive, good communicator, gentleman, honest, hard worker, and was willing to drive pretty far to meet me. Now, it sounds like to me that he had a hard time finding somebody in his area because of his looks or maybe his confidence. So you were the one willing to give him the time of day, so he drove pretty far to meet you. I don't know if it was an hour or 2 or 3. It would have been nice to know how far he drove, but I'm assuming at least an hour, maybe 2. He is also very easy to be around. That's good. That's what you want. He is a Disney fan like me. That's great. You can relate to that. And enjoys all that life has to offer. He isn't very attractive, though. Heavily overweight, but actively losing and has lost a good amount and just all around not very physically attractive. Then why did you even need him in the first place, man? I don't get it. I don't get it. I have my own weight issues up the wazoo, so not trying to judge. Ma'am, you say you're not trying to judge, but you're judging. Like attracts like, ma'am. You found a guy that would be good for you, and you could be good for him. Maybe together you can motivate each other to get into really great shape because you both are actively trying to do that, right? But now you're judging and saying you're not trying to judge. And then you say, and proud that he is losing. I remind myself that I've been with incredibly handsome men who only wanted sex and ghosted me right after. Well, man, with your attitude, that's all you're going to get. Because there's no guy that's going to want to be around a woman that is, as judgmental as you are. Especially, ma'am, if you have your own weight issues. Come on, this is very, very contradicting here. God, women are the biggest contradictors nowadays. And it's no joke. Wow. I'm just not very sexually attracted to him. But not everything can be sex-based. Ma'am, this is the thing. And to you guys out there, and even if ladies are watching this channel as well, okay? Attraction is a must and not a choice. I keep saying that, okay? If you do not feel a large spark or rush of sexual attraction within 3 seconds of meeting each other, it's never going to be there. This is not meant to be here. What are your personal thoughts/opinions on the attractiveness factor, and should that be taken into account when considering a possible relationship? I'll say it again, like a broken record, because repetition is the mother's skill. Attraction is a must. It is not a choice. Man, you are not attracted to him. He's a good guy. He offers everything else you want in the guy, but you cannot picture making love to him or making out with him or whatever. Man, it's time to let him go. Just as an FYI, I am not repulsed by him, just admitting that he is not the most attractive. Well, man, you're being very superficial, especially because you've had weight issues and you gained 35 pounds back out of the 100 that you lost. Man, I mean, what if you never lost that 100 pounds? Would you be more prone to accept him? What if you weighed, around the same as he did, or even a little less, because women are supposed to weigh less. So basically, a 300-pound man is equivalent to like a 225-pound woman, right? So, ma'am, if you didn't lose that 100 pounds, you would probably be at the same weight level as him, being overweight at the same level is what I'm trying to say. Would you still find him not attractive then? Do you feel you deserve the hottest man on the planet, man, when you yourself are not the hottest woman around? I mean, think about it. Don't understand how anything I wrote would lead to anyone to think that I am essentially a mean person. No, ma'am, you are ridiculous. You're ridiculous because you've had other thirsty beta males or other men that use you for sex, because some guys, even attractive guys, like to have one-night stands with big girls if they're having a dry spell. And maybe that's what's confusing you, man. But you're never going to find a guy that's going to be as attractive as you want him to be unless you're pretty close to his level of attractiveness. And you don't have this type of contradicting personality. He is a hard worker and actively working on weight loss. He's lost 65 pounds in a year and on a strict diet. He is serious about getting his health in order. I have no room to judge, as I had lost over 100 pounds before COVID and gained 35 back in the past 1.5 years. Simply say my current feelings, but do feel guilty honestly. Man, you should feel guilty. Man, you're being a hypocrite. Man, practice what you preach. Man, if you want the hottest guy in the world, you got to be the hottest woman in the world. And that's not you. And quite frankly, man, even if you lost all the weight and I came across you and I happened to be single with this attitude, I wouldn't even give you the time of day even if you were hot. I just don't like the attitude, man. You feel, in essence, you're entitled to the hottest guy in the world, even if you're overweight. You're being very judgmental here, man. Very judgmental. We are spending the weekend together in separate hotel rooms. Why would he do that? What? Come on. You're spending the weekend together in separate hotel rooms? I would never go for that bullshit. What the hell is this? What is this? I mean, best buds? A man and a woman that are trying to date, just being best buds in the meantime, staying in separate rooms? What is this? Wow. And slowly getting to know each other. Man, it's never going to be there because you're not attracted to him. It's never going to change. You didn't feel at the moment you laid eyes on him that he's an attractive man, then boom, it's never going to happen. You're wasting each other's time and you're wasting his money. Or maybe you two, hopefully you two are paying your own separate way, but this is a waste of time for the both of you. He lives in another state, 5 hours drive. Now it's a 5-hour drive. 5 hours? I would never drive even 30 minutes to meet a woman and stay in separate hotel rooms for a weekend trip. Are you kidding me? 5 hours? Come on, man. Come on. Wow. He is thus far dedicated, and if this works out, he seems pretty desperate. He seems just like a very desperate, insecure, weak man. I would never, ever put up with this at all. And if this works out, willing to visit me every couple of weeks, and I would do the same as well. Man, you said you're not attracted to him. How is it going to ever work out? What are you waiting to see if he loses 100 more pounds and see how hot he looks then? And see if he's fuckable at that point? Wow. Willing to visit me every couple of weeks, and that would be the same as well. I am not throwing him out as a possibility. He's simply not traditionally good looking. That's like the fourth or fifth time you said he's not good looking, man. We get the point. Ma'am. And sex is important to me. It's important to pretty much almost everyone, unless you're a reborn virgin, and I've encountered a few of those in my time. I just say next. So I want to make sure that we are sexually compatible, but staying away from sex this weekend. Because you're not sexually attracted to him, man. If he was hot, you'd be like, hey, baby, I'm going to get us the room and, get us a king-size bed. But no, instead, we're going in two separate rooms. On a romantic weekend getaway. It's pathetic, man. This is pathetic. It's pathetic that this guy would drive 5 hours for this shit. This is ridiculous. I've been incredibly sexually aroused by men who were jerks. That's because they're probably attractive men. And even if they weren't that attractive, these guys have a spine. Not only is this guy not physically attractive, he's probably a beta man. He's a beta man. And he has no self-confidence. He is not willing to stand up to you and say, look, I don't want to go away on a romantic weekend getaway with you and sleep in separate beds. If this is not meant to be, it's not meant to be. But he's going along with what you're, with what you want, man. And that's turning you off because he's not being man enough for you on top of not being physically attractive. This is a waste of time. Waste of time. Guys, in a situation like this, you need to get out of this. Jesus Christ. I've been incredibly sexually aroused by men who were jerks. I read that and broke my heart. So that didn't work. Yeah, then why did you get with them? Because they had balls, they were assertive, and they were probably better looking than this guy. And even if they weren't, they were more masculine than this guy. This guy sounds like a feminized dude. How often do people find someone who is a decent fit and feel incredibly sexually attracted at the same time? Maybe 1 in 1,000 people? No, it's more than that. You're just wasting your time and this guy's time, for no reason here. Maybe this guy has money. Maybe he wanted to take you away on this weekend getaway and pay for the 2 separate rooms. I bet this guy paid for both rooms. Come on, man. Why would you even invest any time in this if you're not feeling it? I bet this guy's paying for everything, and you like that. This is ridiculous. Let's see what the comments had to say here. Would you want to date someone who described you the way you've described him? Let him go and find someone else. I'm going to give you a big round of applause for that. Well, wait a minute. How come it's not going through? What the hell? Oh, wait a minute here. Give me a second. I think it did go through. I just forgot to turn on my sound. It was going through. Here's a big round of applause. All right, I had my headset turned off, so the applause probably went through a second ago. Sorry for the technical difficulties. Anyway, big round of applause for that. Why would you want to date someone who described you the way you described them? Let him go and find someone else. Next comment. This was exactly my first thought. Let him be with someone who does find him attractive. Why does she have to let him be? Why does this dude have a spine, have some balls, and realize, dude, she's not into you. Move on. Why does she have to let him go? Why can't he just move on himself? He's supposed to be a man, and he's not acting like one. No. Question, though, isn't it possible to be attached to someone you don't completely find attractive? What happens when you and you're super attractive, so at 30 become not so attractive at 50, 60, or 70? After a while, if you're with someone for 10 or 20 years, you both are probably going to gain a little bit of weight, and you're not going to look the same. Then it's more about the emotional attachment and, the emotional bond and all that. But let me tell you, it doesn't get to that level for decades. And it doesn't get to that level until probably you're in your 60s or 70s, right? Because there are people getting divorced nowadays in their 50s because their husband gained weight and they weren't as sexual, right? So it is possible to be attached to someone you don't completely find attractive because you feel an emotional bond, you get along at a mental and emotional level, right? And you enjoy similar things. But if you're not physically attracted to them, it's just not going to matter, right? It's not going to matter. And again, like I said, from what I've noticed, until people reach their 60s and let's say they've been married or together for 30 plus years or so, the physical attraction is going to be extremely important. Like I said, I've seen people get divorced even in their 50s because, a lack of intimacy and, one side gains some weight and they're not attracted anymore. It's just the way it is nowadays. That's why you got to take care of yourself as best as possible for as long as possible. I don't see attraction as something purely physical. It's not something purely physical, but it's the first thing. It has to be there or nothing else matters. Once the physical is there, if you feel that large spark or rush of sexual attraction when you first meet someone, then you got to see if you have the mental, emotional, and spiritual connection. But the physical, I hate to say it, initially, especially when you're younger, under 60, it does matter. I think physical attraction stops to matter as much when you hit your 60s. Like I said, I've seen couples in their 50s that have been together for decades get divorced. And it's because of a lack of intimacy and physical attraction. That's what it is. It happens. It's easy to find replacements too, especially for women nowadays. You go on a dating app and you can find someone that same night, no problem. I have found men attractive who, if I didn't know their personality, would have found to be ugly. Well, sometimes that can happen, right? What you're probably saying is that these guys are probably a 6 or a 7 on the hotness scale of 1 to 10. They're average looking. They're not ugly, but they're not your typical type of an 8, 9, or a 10. But because they have a great personality and they're average, decent looking, they're super attractive to you. That's what you're saying. And that's a great balance right there. That's what I suggest for most people to do is, you don't have to have the hottest physical or the hottest physically attractive person in the world, is what I'm trying to say, but make sure that they have a great personality. And, if you have someone that's a 6 or a 7 on the physical attraction scale with a 9 or a 10 personality, that's a keeper right there in my eyes. That's what you're saying in other words. If I thought someone was really cool but not attractive, they would be a friend. Okay, you're being honest. It would be unfair of me and potentially hurtful to continue to date someone I just didn't find attractive. I wouldn't want someone to keep dating me because they were hoping I would grow on them. This woman is using this guy for his money. He's probably paying for this weekend getaway trip in 2 separate rooms. If this guy is paying for this trip and paying for 2 separate rooms by request of this woman or by demand of this woman, then this woman is completely taking advantage of it. And he's just a beta male. He's just a pathetic loser right now. I hate to say it, man. I mean, we've all been there in the past, but man, this is desperation, and this is just not masculine energy. Whew. Wow. I wouldn't want someone to keep dating me because they were hoping I would grow on them. Yeah. Oh, yeah. That doesn't happen. It's either there from the very beginning or it'll never be there. We see posts on here all the time about someone dating someone for months, maybe even years, only to find out later that their partner wasn't attracted to them. The responses in those threads are quite different. I think we get the point here, and I'm going to keep this a short video, right about 20 minutes, because I think, my thoughts, at the beginning hit home, and the people in comment section hit home. Look, guys and gals, attraction is a must and not a choice. Guys, when you put yourselves out there, you can find out very quickly if a woman is attracted to you. I'm going to give you my formula once again before I wrap up this video. Okay, if you're talking to a woman online and, she, messages you or you message her and then she gets back to you, okay, you ask for her phone number. If she gives you her phone number, you call her, you have one phone call. If that phone conversation goes well, you go on one date, and you go on one date either in the late afternoon or early evening, and you either take a walk a couple hours before it gets dark. If that walk goes well and you feel that chemistry, and she wants to spend more time with you, she'll let you know. Then maybe you can go to dinner after that, and maybe do a little making out or whatever. But guys, you got to find out as quickly as possible if there's a large rush or spark of sexual attraction from the woman. Women that are very sexually attracted to you are going to want to make out with you and possibly even sleep with you on the first night. And I'm not trying to call those women easy. They're not. It's just that they feel it. You want to be with a woman that feels it for you from the very beginning, or it will never be there. This guy's wasting his time because he doesn't realize that attraction is a must and not a choice. It's either going to happen right away within the first 3 seconds of meeting, or it'll never happen. Someone needs to teach him that. Maybe he'll come across this video and learn. But with that being said, guys, thank you very much for taking the time to get another video. Another video is coming to this channel soon. Becoming a better man. I'm here to help you guys become the best possible men you can become, so you can accomplish whatever it is that your hearts desire. Please like, share, subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.